Plunkett UK is a national charity which supports people in rural areas to set up and run a wide range of businesses in community ownership. DTAS, Development Trust Association Scotland, is an independent member-led organisation supporting community-led and owned organisations to thrive. The Scottish Community Pubs Partnership, funded by the Scottish Government, is a support programme delivered by Plunkett and DTAS to grow the pipeline of community-owned pubs in Scotland.
Okay, my name is Tim Collins. I'm part of the group that organised the buyout of the Red Lion in Culross 3 years ago. Culross sits in West Fife, which is a very rural area. There's no heavy industry here. Industry here is either agriculture or tourism, and the Red Lion in Culross is very much at the heart of the tourism in West Fife. It was very important for the community to buy the pub here, because without the community buyout, the pub would probably have sold to a developer, and there would be no central focus in the village.
5 years ago, there was around 1 or 2 community-owned pubs in Scotland, and now there are 12 up and running, with 34 more in the pipeline across the country. The programme provides a range of support from early stage advice, in-depth business planning, and there's a peer-to-peer network, and we offer support with funding and finance, especially community shares.
Hi, I'm Steve Wood. I'm the chairman of the Community Benefit Society that purchased the Red Lion Inn for the community. We originally did a crowdfunder to start off the process, mainly to pay for legal fees and other sort of administrative charges, and that raised about £11,000. Following that, with the help of Community Share Scotland, we launched a marketing campaign, including a video that went worldwide. And that led into the formal community share offer. And that raised around about £100,000. And we now have around 400 investors, many of which of course are in the community. We were very fortunate in that the support we had from both Community Share Scotland, Plunkett and the Scottish Land Fund provided us with some fantastic advice and support during the process. In fact, without those three areas, we probably would have failed.
Our involvement with Plunkett started very early on in the process, and it's a move that we never regretted. We got lots of sound advice from Plunkett, not least of which was they funded a consultant who knew the process. He'd been through it with his own pub.
My name is Lynn Nelson, and I'm a local dairy farmer, and we supply dairy farm ice cream to the Red Lion. We started the ice cream business a good few years ago, and the Red Lion were one of our first customers, and they've been very supportive, and it's great to have Nelson's of Culross on the menu in our local pub. My husband and I invested on the community shares. We felt it was very important to do so, and we were worried that the pub was going to get sold to developers and made into housing, and we'd lose the last pub in the village.
A village without a pub is kind of directionless or focusless, and it gives the young people, or 16-year-olds, a place to start work. It gives everybody a place to be, and it's a good income for the village.
Having the pub in the village is really important because it's a really remote village. There's not really a lot of work for like young people, especially like their first jobs and stuff. So I just live like 5 minutes up the road, so it's really nice just to be able to come down and you know everybody. So it's a really nice environment.
So we produce several different beers, and whatever's left that we haven't casked, I then bottle. I'm chief bottler. These are some of the things that we produce. It's been a really important part to be part of, because the hope is that we can grow it to such an extent that we'll be able to employ a local person and give them training and give them a career out of something, and that's a really important part of everything we do here.
So we set up the charitable trust, and the trust takes the money, the rent and any other money that's made, and disperses it. So it can be as small as to the school, for £100 for something the school is doing, or a bigger project that somebody is building something in the village and needs a bit of a hand if it's going to satisfy the community. The plan at the moment is very, very tentatively in the early days, we're looking at building a pavilion, raising money to build a pavilion. It's Tim's idea, at the end of the village. And that would initiate some sport facilities, which is very needed in West Fife. but it also satisfies the need for the artists. We have a lot of crafts, a lot of artists that aren't being supported, and we'd like to do something like that.
I think as it progresses, and with the UK and Scottish governments committing more support for community businesses, then I think that we're in a good space. So for the Red Lion, the future looks pretty bright as we look to expand out of being more than just a pub.